Welcome back, guys. Phase 2 of Season of Discovery is phenomenal. We are doing the level 40 guides for all classes, guides where we cover overall best in slot gear, updated professions, multiple talent specs, which runes to use, and some tips and tricks. Yesterday we covered the Druid, the master of all trades. Today you guys voted in large numbers for the Shaman, the emblem of the Horde, the two-handed totem wielder, the brand new jack of all trades. Let me know in the comments which class you want to see next from the remaining ones. Most votes equals next video. There's also an updated armory link in the pinned comment if any changes or mistakes arise. If you like the series, smash like, and with that being said, let's get right into it, shall we? For Shamans, the Neuro Arcana Filament Monocle seems to be the best in slot. If you already have tailoring, just go grab it. If you have letterworking, don't stress too much about getting tailoring, as letterworking has two options for helmet, which are great as well. The difference between them is quite small. The Piston Pendant for the necklace into the Lightning Rod shoulders, 17 damage with nature spells, but also 1% chance to hit on top of that 7 intellect. Bloodrot Cloak with 7 stamina, 6 intellect, and a whopping 11 spell power into the Electromantic Chain Shirt, which has stamina, intellect, and 20 damage per second for a male wear. For bracers, we have some nice leather bracers with 9 spell power and 1% hit. Moving into the weapons, for weapons we have a one-hand dagger and a shield. The one-hand dagger is the Glimmering Gizmo Blade with 19 spell power, and the shield is from the Strangletorn PvP event, but it's really cool. It has 5 stamina, 8 intellect, increases damage done by healing up to 14. It kind of looks cool, especially for a Shaman. It has like such a nice horde vibe to it. However, if you don't like PvP, if you don't want to do the Strangletorn event, there's a nice shield here called the Irradiated Tower Shield, which is almost as good. Actually, I think it has only 2 spell power less. Also, it would be a shame not to have both epic weapons. Fingers of Arcane Accuracy is the ones I went for the 1% hit, although I think probably the 18 spell power Cloth Gloves would be better. Electromagnetic Waistcord has 11 spell power, 1% hit, 5 stamina, 8 intellect. So far we see a lot of hit on the Shaman. Very good at this level because the new world buff from Nomer will not have hit, will have crit instead. So we're gaining hit fast. Electromantic Pants, which have 22 spell power, 4 MP5, stamina and intellect. And 2 set bonus will give you 12 extra spell power, but the cool stuff, it's the 3 set bonus, which reduces 0.2 casting time of your lightning bolt spell. Very nice Shaman set overall. I think it's one of the best made in terms of stats. And then we move to the pants, which have 8 spell power and 4 MP5 as well, stamina and intellect. For the rings, you obviously go for the Hypercharged Gear of Conflagration, 11 spell power, and the Advisory Ring from Warsong Gulch is going to be pretty cool as well. MP5 and spell power. Perfect stats for a Shaman. We have the Rune of Perfection, which decreases the magical resistances of your target by 20. If the bosses in Nomer have a lot of resistances, this might come in quite handy. Or if you don't have yet the miniaturized combustion chamber, and then you can use probably the Invoker Void Pearl with this one until you get your miniaturized chamber. Combustion chamber. Eventually those two will be best in slot. Totem, we're gonna have the 2 MP5 totem, carved driftwood icon. Now let's move to the elemental Shaman talents. Very straight and simple. For the elemental spec, we have 5 points into concussion, increases the damage done by your lightning bolt, chain lightning, and shock spells by 5%. Then we have convection, reduces the mana cost of your shocks, lightning bolt, and chain lightning spells by 10%. Call of Flame increases the damage done by your fire totems by 15%. Into Elemental Focus, 10% chance for a clear cast. 5 points into Call of Thunder, which increases the critical strike chance of your Lightning Bolt and Chain Lightning spells by an additional 6%. Moving into Elemental Fury, increases the critical strike damage bonus of your Searing, Magma, and Fire Nova totems and your Fire, Frost, and Nature spells by 100%. Critical strike damage bonus, huge. 2 points into Storm Reach, increases the range of your Lightning Bolt and Chain Lightning by 6 yards. Into 5 points into Lightning Mastery, which decreases the cast time of your Lightning Bolt and Chain Lightning spells by 1 second. And finally, ending with Elemental Mastery. When activated, this spell gives your next Fire, Frost, Nature damage a 100% critical strike chance and reduces the mana cost by 100%. So far so cool. Elemental has been buffed, let's say, by 50% only from the talents deep into Elemental. Now let's move into the runes and see what we have there. For the chest rune we have Overload, and this seems to be buffed from the last time we did an Elemental Shaman guide. It went from 33% to 50% chance to cast a second similar spell on the same target with no additional cost that causes half of the damage or healing with no threat. Shamanistic Rage into Lava Burst. This is from the phase 1, but moving into the Waste rune, the new ones, Fire Nova. Your Fire Nova totem spell is replaced with Fire Nova, which causes your current fire totem to emit damage at its location. So now we can combine some sort of Chain Lightning with Fire Nova to pull some of that AoE damage as well. We do have other runes though. We can use Power Surge as well. Each time Flame Shock deals damage, it has a 5% chance to reset the cooldown on Lava Burst, Chain Lightning, and make the next Lava Burst or Chain Heal within 10 seconds instant. So you have options. They're situational. Probably you're going to use mostly Power Surge. And for the Foot rune, I didn't know exactly what to choose. We have a couple of options. We have the Healing rune, and we have the Decoy totem, and also we have the Spirit of the Alpha, which is probably what we're going to use. We're going to apply this on the tank so it will build more threat. I think like kind of the Foot runes weren't that great developed, but hey, maybe that's just me. Now let's move into the enhancement spec and see what's going to go on there. For enhancement, we go for Letterworking, 14 strength, 14 agility, 1% hit, and an on-use effect, which gives you 20% attack speed for 10 seconds helm. It's kind of a must. If you don't have it, you start leveling Letterworking now. Necklace with 16 attack power, 1% crit, into the Trog Slayer shoulders, 12 agility, 22 attack power. Blood Drenched Draped, which gives you 1% crit. Probably there's a better option here. Maybe the Drape of Dismantling. Into the Electromantic Chainmail. This is a new set with stamina, intellect, attack power, and a lot of other stats such as crit. But the set bonuses are cool. We're gonna get into them later. For a Stalker Bracers, if you can't get these ones, I think they're a pair of male bracers with 7 agility, 22 attack power. They're gonna be the very next best thing. Then we're gonna move into the one-handed weapon, which are the fist weapons, 260 and 280 speed, 2 of them. However, there's going to be an option now for the chest rune to have a dual wield or to have two-handed spec. We're gonna get into that later. For a two-handed spec here, we have more options. Obviously, we have the Thermaplug Rocket Cleaver, but there's a really nice totem mace at the PvP event, which has like a 360 speed, knocks target silly for 2 seconds, strength, stamina, intellect. Maybe it's time for two-handed enhancement shamans. Gloves, we have the Machinist Gloves, 7 strength, 6 agility, 30% attack power when fighting mechanical units, and 1% hit. Into Dark Vision Girdle, which has 24 attack power, chance to hit, stamina, and intellect. As you can see, we have a lot of attack power on the gear, a lot of stamina and intellect stats. Same goes for the Electromagnetic Pants, which has 10 stamina, 10 intellect, 28 attack power, hit, 24 attack power, 2 set bonus, and also the 3 set bonus gives your attacks a 5% chance of restoring 100 mana. I think this is going to be quite interesting. We have the the boots, which have 11 agility, 9 stamina, 9 intellect, and the Legionnaire Band, 8 strength, 8 agility, 5 stamina. Hypercharged Gear of Devastation, 7 strength, 8 agility, 10 stamina. And then we move into the Avenger Void Pearl and Gyromantic Experiment 420B, which gives a combined of 36 attack power for both, but also some attack speed. For the totem, we went for the Carved Driftwood Icon. For the enhancement talents, I went for 5 points into Shield Spec because I don't think the 5% mana is really good value for 5 talent points. If you're never going to equip a shield, however, just go for 5 points into Ancestral Knowledge. Moving down, we have the 5% critical strike with your weapons by Thundering Strikes. Into the improved Ghost Wolf, it's a must-have as a shaman. And then we went 2 points into Enhancing Totem, which increases the effect of your Strength of Earth and Grace of Air totems by 50%. Flurry, 5 points, increases your attack speed by 30% for your next 3 swings after dealing a critical strike. 2 points in Improved Weapon Totems, increases the melee attack power bonus of your Wind Fury totem by 30% and increases the damage caused by your Flame Toke totem by 12%. 3 points into Elemental Weapons, which increases the attack power bonus of your Rockbiter weapon by 20%, your Wind Fury weapon effect by 40%, and the damage caused by your Flame Tongue weapons and Frostband weapons by 15%. Going down the rabbit hole, we have Weapon Mastery, which gives us a flat 10% damage buff with all weapons. Moving down into Storm Strike, which gives you an extra attack. Also create a great synergy with nature damage dealt to the target for the next 12 seconds. For runes, there's an option on the chest between dual wield spec, if you're using a dual wield, or two-handed weapon mastery, which is the newest thing. Each time you strike an enemy with a two-handed weapon, you gain 30% attack speed with two-handed weapons for 10 seconds. Wow. Shamanistic Rage with Lava Lash if you're doing a dual wield. I'm not yet sure if they're going to modify the Lava Lash by any chance for two-handed weapon spec as well. If not, you're going to go probably for a Lava Burst here. For the Waste rune, we have the Maelstrom weapon. When you deal damage with a melee attack, you have a chance to reduce the cast time of your next Lightning Bolt, Chain Lightning, Lesser Healing Wave, Chain Lightning or Lava Burst spell by 20%. It stacks up to 5 times until it becomes probably instant. It lasts for 30 seconds. It's going to be pretty cool for the enhancement shamans. I'm really looking forward to see how this is going to turn out to be. And for the foot rune, we go for the Spirit of the Alpha as well. Let me know how you feel about the shaman so far. Are you going to play elemental? Are you going to play enhancement? Or are you going to play our next shaman, which is the restoration shaman? For the restoration, I went for the tailoring. If you have tailoring, go for the monocle. If you have leatherworking, go for the leatherworking helmet. They're almost the same. Don't try to waste a lot of time and money unless you're trying to parse for 100% more than anyone else. Necklace, it's Pendant of Homecoming, which increases your healing done by spells by up to 13. Pretty cool necklace. We have the Generosity Padded Shoulder Pads with 11 healing done by spells, Intellect and Spirit. Cloak of Invention, 15 healing spells and 2 MP5. And here, normally the cloth set would be superior for healing only. There's a cloth healing set than the male one. But to be honest, it's not by a huge margin, and if you're really not parsing to be the best healer and to do 99, just go for the Electromantic male set and just have fun more with it because it has damage and healing and very good itemization. I'm just repeating, cloth so far it seems to be better. Keep in mind that some of those items are not in their final version also. For the bracers, we have the Oil Stained Bindings, which give damage and healing up to 9 and 3 mana per 5 seconds. There is healing bracers with more healing, but I'm kind of looking for that MP5 for shamans. I think I have the old mindset that shamans needs a lot of mana, and I'm always looking for gear with MP5. When it comes to the weapons, really cool weapons. As you can see, we have 2 moving elements here. We have the Gearmender's Grace, which is a healing mace with 20 spell power, 4 intellect, 3 spirit, and a shield with 1.7k armor, 9 intellect, and 22 healing spells. And on top of that, 4 MP5, a total of 44 healing spells. They look pretty cool, and I think if you pair them, they're gonna look pretty nice. Slick Fingerless Gloves, 22 healing and 14 damage done by nature spells. Mech Mender Sash, 24 healing done by spells. I think I called this set Electromagnetic, but it's Electromantic. 22 damage and healing spells and 4 MP5. As you can see, the stats are pretty good. I think the cloth pants have like 26 healing only, but they do have intellect and spirit. And then we go into the boots, which have 8 damage and healing and 4 MP5. The set bonus are 12 damage and healing, while the cloth set has MP5 and spirit, I think. Hypercharge, I would go, if you only have one option to pick the ring, the healing ring has 13 healing power, while the damage ring has 11. It's 2 less healing. So I would get this one if you plan to play both Resto and Elemental, for example. If not, just go for the healing one. If you are a 100% healer, go for the healing one. We have the Advisor ring, and we have the Miniaturized Combustion Chamber with the Void Pearl for healing. If you have the one for damage dealing, that's fine as well. Those are going to be the best in slot for Resto in Phase 2. From my point of view, there might be some items that might be better, but if you're looking to look for something for overall, I'm trying to put here something that would be for overall, for a bit of world PvP, for a bit of assist, for a bit of support, for... This is how I would gear one character. Now let's move to the talents. 5 points into Healing Wave, which reduces the casting time of your Healing Wave by 0.5 seconds. Into 2 points in Tidal Focus, which reduces the mana cost by 2%. 3 points into Ancestral Healing, increases the target armor value by 25% for 15 seconds after getting a critical effect from one of your healing spells. 4 points into Healing Focus, which gives you 54% chance to avoid interruption caused by damage while casting a healing spell. 1 point into Totemic Mastery to increase the radius of my totems. Restorative Totems increases the effect of your Mana Spring and Healing Stream Totem by 25%. 2 points into Tidal Mastery. I wish I would have taken more here. Into 1 point in Nature Swiftness. A really cool cooldown to have it whenever it's needed the most. And 3 points into Healing Wave. Then 4 points into Purification. Increases the effectiveness of your healing spells by 8%. Finally, 1 point into Mana Tide Totem, which, to tell you the truth, I'm not even sure if it's going to be that needed. If you're playing like an OG Shaman, let me know if you would do anything different in terms of talent. Now let's move to the runes. Healing Rain into Shamanistic Rage into Water Shield. You could even go for Earth Shield if you want, but the new runes is the ones that we're really curious about. The Waste Rune, the Power Surge, each time your Flame Shock deals damage, it has a 5% chance to reset the cooldown on Lava Burst and Chain Lightning and make the next Lava Burst Chain Heal or Chain Lightning within 10 seconds instant. I'm not sure if Power Surge is the best rune here, but it's not like Blizzard gave us many options. The Foot Rune, however, it's a good one. It's called Ancestral Awakening, and when you critically heal with your Healing Wave or Lesser Healing Wave, you summon an Ancestral Spirit to aid you, instantly healing the lowest percentage health party member within 40 yards for 30% of the amount healed. This is going to be a pretty cool, and you're probably going to crit a lot. I'm curious how this is going to look. And if it's going to proc multiple times and you're going to have multiple ones summoned, or if it's going to be only one and then once you disappear you can summon it again with a critical strike with your Healing Wave. To be honest, I haven't seen a lot of Resto Shamans in phase 1s. Maybe they're all excited for the Elemental or Enhancement or Tanking spec, but who knows, maybe phase 2 will bring more of them. That being said, let's move to the Tanking spec, which is the last for the evening. For the Tanking spec, the gear is going to be quite similar to the Enhancement set. The helmet is going to be different. The helmet is going to be the Mail Helmet from Leatherworking. It has a lot of armor, 342, lots of stats, agility, strength, stamina, intellect, but also a proc to engage the radiation mitigation protocols. This helmet causing you to immediately remove all active poison effects and gain immunity to all nature damage for 3 seconds. I'm not sure if this is going to be something that must be used in Nomar, if it's going to have a use. Some Shaman tanks will choose the DPS helmet for 20% attack speed, but I guess that's a matter of personal preference if you want to be more threat oriented or mitigation oriented. For the necklace, I went with the one for attack power and crit, but there's also one that has dodge, defense rating, and stamina, something like that. Drape of Dismantling, lots of stats. We went for an Electromantic Chainmail, a full set for a lot of attack power and also some chance to get some mana back. I don't think Shamans had a lot of mana issues in phase 1, but please correct me if I'm wrong. I remember that Shamans used to be like one of the best tanks in the game so far. For the bracers, we have the Storm Chaser Bindings. Might be a quest because I saw like multiple pair of bracers for level 35. And then we have the Oscillating Blast Hammer with 4 defense and 2.4 speed. There's another hammer which has 16 attack power, which is similar in terms of damage and speed. And for the shield, we have the Engineering Shield, the Whirling True Silver Gear Wall, which looks cool and has really nice stats as well. Fingers of Arcane Accuracy, 1% heat, agility, stamina, and intellect, makes it great for tanking. Skullduggery Waistband, a lot of armor, strength, agility, and stamina. Electromantic Pants, stamina. Electromantic Boots, agility, stamina, and intellect. Into the Legionnaire Band, into the Hypercharged Gear of Devastation, and well, I kind of used the DPS trinkets here, but there is a tank trinket available. I can't see it here because I have like an enhancement setup on this one, but there is one trinket available with a bit of stamina, some dodge, and a cooldown that increases your armor by a lot. It's gonna be Nomad, you're gonna find it with ease. For talents, I went Deep Enhancement, 5 points into Shield Spec, into 5 points into Crit, into Flurry, increases your attack speed by 30% for the next 3 swings after dealing a critical strike. I had a choice here to go between the armor value from items or 5% dodge. I chose the 5% dodge. Then I went for 2 points into weapon totems, 3 points into elemental weapons, 1 point into parry because how can you be a tank without parry? And then I went into weapon mastery, which increases the damage you deal with all weapons by 8%, finally finishing with Storm Strike. Now let's move to the runes. We have the trio of Shield Mastery, Way of Earth, Molten Blast, not too much changed here. For the Waste rune we have Fire Nova, which is going to be pretty cool because now we're going to have more AoE damage with phase 2, but also you have the option to use the Maelstrom weapon. It's situational, whichever do you think you want to use. Probably Fire Nova you're going to use for trash packs and doing a lot of damage. And for the Foot rune, the Decoy Totem can come in really handy here, especially if the boss is about to cast like a really big spell and you need to avoid some of that damage. I think it's going to be pretty cool. Let me know in the comments down below if you would play the tank shaman any different than phase 2. Now let's move to the next thing. Phase 1 didn't make the shamans that happy, and you can understand why. They didn't have their whole arsenal, their whole kit. Phase 2 is going to make the shamans whole, and it starts with the very first Wind Fury totem, Reincarnation, things that they get at level 30 and 32. At level 40 they're going to get a couple of very good spells. They get Flame Shock, they get a new rank of Chain Heal when it comes to healing. They get a Healing Wave. Both of the major healing spells like Chain Heal and Healing Wave are a max rank at level 40. Chain Lightning, not 1 but 2 ranks of Chain Lightning. At 25 they had none. At level 40 they have 2 ranks and the damage is going to be obnoxious. However, the mana cost is going to be probably still a problem. We'll see how the shamans will manage to manage that. Lightning Bolt also comes at level 38 with 165 mana cost. In theory, shamans have everything they need to make it work in phase 2, and not only to make it work but to be one of the top classes to play in Season of Discovery phase 2. If you're looking to get into Season of Discovery or return to Wrath of the Lich King, level some new alts and so on, I highly recommend getting RestedXp add-on. The add-on is free with all its features, and the guides are available up to level 20, making your leveling fast but also efficient since now it incorporates rune guides. Is this add-on a necessity? Not necessarily. But if efficiency is your goal, RestedXp delivers. It has the potential to accelerate your leveling speed by 30 to 100%, ultimately saving you valuable /play time that could be better spent elsewhere. Personally, I also use it to quest for gold at max level in each phase because it gives me a good route to follow for maximum gold per hour. And if by any chance in the future you think about making an upgrade to a full version, use my code Frostadamus for 5% off. Links in the description down below. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, smash like, and given the fact that you're still watching the video, you might be interested in my second YouTube channel, Frostadamus TV. There's going to be a link right here on the screen, and you can easily find it in the description of the video right under the Twitch link. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoy phase 2, and may you be blessed by the gods of RNG. Until next time, stay frosty. Bye bye!